Hello. Hello and welcome to a very festive episode of the Green Queens podcast.
The perfect podcast for imperfect environmentalists. We are your hosts.
We still never know how. We need to sit down and work out how to split that bit up.
But also I was like, okay, don't do what I did previously. And then I looked at you and I was like, I'm not sure what that was. So.
I can't remember. We just mess it up every time. We are the perfect podcast for imperfect environmentalists. I am Abbie Dewhurst and she is Imogen Bhogal. There, that works.
That did work. But I will also say that when we joined the call earlier on, I joined ever so slightly before you. And then when you appeared, I looked at the video and I thought it was myself.
I joined and was like, lol, we look the same. We've both got our festive jumpers on because we're recording this on the 1st of December. But then my sound wasn't working. So even though I was chatting away going, oh my God, look, we match. Imogen was just staring so gormlessly into the camera. Thought she was looking at herself.
But then I'm thinking, who am I kidding? I do not have as wonderful a fringe as you do at this point in time.
I love that you just accepted it. You were like, yeah, there I am with my fringe. But no, I also had the same moment where I was like, oh God, no, we look exactly the same today.
Oh, well, I am extremely glad about that fact because you look fabulous.
You look great.
Oh, stop it. And also, I think it's safe to say that we're a little bit giddy because we're quite excited about today's episode.
I know. And we have been talking all year about the fact that we wanted to do specific Christmas special Green Queens episodes in the run-up to the festive season. And here we are. I cannot believe it's December.
Oh, don't. It's just, this year has absolutely vanished. Simultaneously feels 1,000 years long and about 4 seconds long, which is always the case, but it just every year gets quicker and quicker.
I know.
I'm sure everybody says that.
I know. Oh, that is the most British. Should we talk about the weather for a little bit as well? And then we'll just be full Brits. But because we launched the podcast on the 14th of February, our love letter to planet Earth, we've sort of been talking about, should we do some Christmas stuff? Should we do a special Christmas series for so long? Because almost the full year we've had of podcasting without actually being able to do any Christmas episodes.
And we went to record it last week and the internet was not our friend that day. And we were both like, no, we've already prepared.
That was like legitimately the most organised I think I've ever been for a podcast episode. And you were like, oh, my Wi-Fi's not working. I was like, make it work. Fix it.
And I was also shouting at Deep about it. And he was like, Imogen, it's not just us. It is like a lot of people. And I was like,
not okay, Deep. It was so funny. We were on this sort of call to each other and you were just on the phone to him like, well, is it working in the house? Well, what's happening there? We'll sort it out.
I was like, check the bandwidth. He's like, no, woman. But for context, what we are planning to do over these next couple of weeks is kind of explore different components of Christmas and how we can still have equal amounts of joy, but much more love for the planet. And today is our gift guide to each other. So the format of this is going to be that we've each come up with a list of gifts and we're going to virtually give them to each other.
Yeah.
We don't know what each other have got.
We do not know what each other have got. And like this is fun because A, very skint. B, had to replace a tyre this morning. C, just meant that I could really push the boat out and go super bougie. I haven't, by the way, but like the fact that I didn't really have to think about budgeting too much because I wasn't actually spending this money. But there is part of me that is a bit devastated that I'm not in a position to actually buy you all these things because I think I've nailed it.
Well, I had the same thing in my head. I was like, I have bought all of these things for you. And then over the weekend, I was like, I actually haven't.
I know.
Yeah, I feel really devastated by that fact. This is all just make-believe. But hopefully people listening will take our list of inspiration and maybe actually purchase them.
100%, because it can be really difficult to think outside the box sometimes, can't it? And I think if you're really busy, we live, sleep, breathe this sort of world. And I feel like we are your little ethical Christmas elves burrowing away, doing the research for you. We've been doing this for years now, and I really do think that we're in a position to collate some of the best, most ethical, most sustainable Christmas gifts. And this is your official Green Queens Christmas gift guide for 2025.
Oh, I don't know if you heard the dog sneeze, and if you did, I will edit it out, but it was almost like she was reacting like, goodness, what a benchmark we are setting.
Yeah, so. That was an excited sneeze. Thank you, Teddy. I assume that was Teddy.
It was very much the old lady sneeze over there. But before we get into our gift giving, I think I want to know two things.
Mm-hmm.
One is that you have quite a lot of stats on just how profound the problem of unwanted gifts are at Christmas. And also, I guess, I reckon, I'm going to totally guess here, but I reckon we have quite different approaches to gift giving within our respective families. So I want to hear a bit more about that as well.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've written a few stats down. I was on BBC Radio 1's Life Hacks named
Yes!
yesterday.
Amazing.
So funny because I didn't really put anything out about the fact I was doing it. And then I had loads of texts from my mates being like, well, I was just getting in the shower and I just heard you on the radio. I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, did I not tell you I was doing that? But yeah, so I did a lot of research for that and it's very nicely sort of trickled into this. So the stats on waste for Christmas is where, unfortunately, I think we fall down because it doesn't need to be an unnecessarily like impactful time of year. It can be really joyful without the waste. But I think, unfortunately, the way that like consumerism is set up at the moment has led to just this completely baffling situation of waste, landfill, but also money. Like everybody's skint at the minute. I don't know how on earth people are affording to bin so much cash. But so get this is a 2024 stat. 3 in 5 Brits received a gift that they didn't want in 2024. And the total value of that equated to 1.27 billion British pounds.
Oh my God, it makes me feel sick. It makes me feel sick.
1.27 billion pounds of crap.
And you know, I was thinking about this because the number one problem in the UK at the moment, the number one concern that everyone has is cost of living.
Yeah.
And everyone is feeling it in different ways, some more acutely than others, but everyone is feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching some linear television viewing over the weekend, and I think the Asda advert, Christmas advert, has totally recognised that. And their advert is the Grinch. And it's the Grinch is obviously the dad who's a bit like, oh, for God's sake, like we're going into Christmas and we're having to spend all this money and like, oh, I feel really anxious about it. And then lo and behold, Asda rollback pricing means that he doesn't need to be as Grinchy about it. But that is the temperature in the room. So to think about 1.27 billion, was it?
Yeah, 1.27 billion pounds in unwanted gifts last year alone, 42 million pounds of which are just sent to landfill.
Oh my God.
And I think, like you say, with the cost of living going into Christmas, what scares me about that is that people sort of feel the need to buy tap more, that, you know, because they're thinking, right, well, we really need to, things need to be cheaper, so let's just get them that. And then instead of thinking, okay, well, actually, it needs to be cheaper, so might cheaper and better for the environment go simultaneously hand in hand. I feel like the way that the world is set up at the moment means that straight away people are like, okay, well, let's just see what Amazon Black Friday do. And again, like the Amazon stats are mad. Amazon receives 47 orders per second on their busiest days in the run up to Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I saw quite a lot of posts over the weekend being like, please don't give your money to a billionaire. Please give it to a small and local business.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important thing. Like, if you do nothing else or take nothing else from this podcast, don't give your monies to the big tech billionaires. Try and seek it out from your high street. Try and seek it out from the small business in your area.
Yeah. And I am this year for the first time doing every single gift that I buy has to come from a Yorkshire business, either made in Yorkshire, from a local shop in Yorkshire. And it is taking me on the most wonderful weekend excursions to little market towns up in the Yorkshire Dales. It's taking me to cafes I've never been to before. It's introducing me to shop owners and business owners that I've never met. And it is the most wholesome way to spend the build up to Christmas. And also knowing that all the money that I'm spending is going straight into their pockets as well. It's so wholesome.
I honestly encourage everyone to follow you on social media, and Green Beans and us and me and everything, because it is such a wonderful insight into lovely Yorkshire villages. I've really enjoyed following.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when Christmas is done, I'll do a little guide to the best towns, best market towns in Yorkshire as well. But yeah, so those are some stats. We won't go too stat heavy because it can get a little bit doom and gloom. And that is not the point of this podcast. The point of this podcast is to bring a little bit of festive sparkle.
So I'm just going to take us on a little diversion very, very briefly, because we should say this is not going to cover children's gifts. We are not parents, but we are both very active aunties. And in the spirit of saving money for nieces and nephews, myself and my husband, we have recorded loads of audiobooks.
No, sorry. This is the best thing I've ever heard.
So when we were in Cornwall, we were like, right, we'll take the microphone down. we got a load of books that were appropriate for especially boys aged between like 2 and 5. And we were like, right, we'll record some audiobooks. And it was amazing how much better they got with the more wine that we consumed.
Sorry, am I allowed to play a clip? Because you sent me a voice note of of one of this recordings. Am I allowed?
Go for it.
I will also caveat this by saying, Imogen's nieces and nephews, if you are listening, please turn the microphone down now, turn the speakers down. This is Deep Bhogal recording an audiobook for Christmas.
Harry McClary out of the gate and off for a walk went Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. And Hercules Moss, he is big as a horse. Harry McClary, she from Donaldson's Dairy. Family pots covered in spots.
It's so good. I would have go the whole thing if I have his permission. But like for the whole week, in my head, I was going, bottomly pots covered in spots. Anyway, so yes, more wine consumed. We did rap. Well, he rapped Harry McClary.
So sweet.
Rap. But also just like we got so into it. Like you then did all the voices. It was great. But that is a totally free present because they already have the Tonys or the Yoto, whichever they use.
Such a good idea. Such a genius idea. Oh my word. It's the best thing I've ever heard. And you will, listener, be singing in a few hours' time. Harry McClary got some stone.
Bottomly pots covered in spots. Yeah, it's catchy.
Amazing.
What was even better is that it was so juxtaposed by him like doing that to then being like Harry McClary by Lindley McDodd. Oh no, Lindley Dodd. Anyway,
I want Deep to do me an audiobook of something. Maybe he could read like Wuthering Heights or something.
Honestly, every night I say to him, I'm like, shall we read our books to each other? And he's like, no, why do we do that? Oh.
An insight into your marriage, ladies and gentlemen.
I think he gets very tired of me. But I guess before we go into our gifts, I'd love to know, in the Dewhurst household, what's the general gift vibe? Are we talking like lovely little things, one big things, practical things, lovely things? How does it work in your house?
I feel like it differs every year, which is actually quite nice. Like when we were little, we would probably nearly always get like one or two sort of big ticket items, if you like. Like I remember one year getting a netball post. So niche. I don't think my dad wrapped it. I think he like hid it in the garden or something. Sorry, it's Santa. I don't think Santa wrapped it, should I say? Yeah, of course. And then like little bits and bobs. Like we would have a stocking when we were little, and my sister would always get like Frizz-Ease shampoo. So my mum would always do obviously very like lovely, thoughtful bits and bobs. And now we kind of don't really get the bits and bobs. We just get maybe one or two sort of main things. But we have over the years set ourselves little challenges. So one year we did do a Secret Santa because, we were all hard up. The other year, I think we said that everything had to be secondhand. So that was like a really nice challenge. And I feel like because now we're introducing children into the family, I've got 2 nieces, you realise that it's really not about the adults. And it's also not really about the gift giving either. I love to buy people gifts, but I'm really not that fussed about receiving them myself. My husband listening to this will be like, what? You're mad. But I really, really, really love the process of buying gifts. I love putting thought into things. I love to just get people something that they would never ordinarily get themselves. Like I hate it when someone's like, well, I really need pants. I'm like, I don't want to buy you something you need. I want to buy you something that you want.
That's like the bit from Love Actually. I don't want something I need. I want something I want.
I know, but I hate her. I think we're meant to hate her, so let's not think about her.
Mia, Love Actually.
How dare she? So yeah, that's the kind of vibe. It's changed over the years. It's very much evolved over the years. And it is just something now, like 1 or 2 bits that are really thoughtful. What about you guys? I feel like you'll do something totally mad.
Well, no, it's interesting because I definitely have a strange thing around receiving presents. And I definitely don't want to take the tone down of this at all. But my mum passed away 8 years ago and she was very, very practical with gifts. Like each year, well, actually growing up, she told us that Father Christmas was responsible for stockings, but her and my dad were responsible for our presents. And I think that was like to try and instill that sort of appreciation.
Awareness, where they come from. That's such a good idea.
It was a great idea, but it did mean that I was quite bemused as a child, because some people were getting these really fancy things in their stockings, and I was like, God, Father Christmas loves them. Meanwhile, what I now realize is that she collected all of the freebies that she got, and she was a GP, so lots of drug companies would come in and give her like free pens and stuff to try and get her business or whatever. We got all of the freebies in our stockings. So at one point, I had a Viagra alarm clock. I obviously didn't know what the word Viagra was. I just thought it was a fun word. And like years later, I was like, Mum, you gave me a Viagra alarm clock. And also, that's quite clever marketing from Viagra.
That is clever marketing. Yeah.
So it was always a bit weird on that. But then when we grew up, and she was really, really good at like handmade presents and things. But Christmas is always deeply practical. So we'd always get a new pair of slippers, a new mascara, and a calendar. And strangely, when she passed away, the first Christmas after that, so she passed away in September, that Christmas, I was like, I don't know who's going to get my wall calendar. And I like really freaked out about it. And even though you don't even really use a wall calendar, that is the one thing that I request each year. And my husband has taken great delight in like making sure that that's something that he can nail. But you know, we do a lot of Secret Santa with both in-laws and my family, lots of secondhand, which is great fun. I feel like everyone takes that very seriously, which I love.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, as you become an adult, realistically, if you need something, you buy it for yourself. You know, we are in a fortunate position more often than not where we can. And also where you get to the point you just realise that you don't need stuff. We're thinking of potentially moving house next year, and that'll be a big old situation if we do. And that has really meant that we have approached things and seen things through completely different eyes and like, you know, your lens of going, okay, well, is it going to be worth the money of potentially having to put this into storage or, you know, packing that into a box as and when we move? And we've not really been in that mindset for the last few years. So you do find yourself being like, oh, a mug. Yes, we'll buy that when you're out and about. And we've kind of made it clear this year as well for Christmas, like, please, as much as we really appreciate these lovely little bits and bobs, like, we're at a funny phase in our life now, and that makes you sort of see things a little bit differently, doesn't it? So I embrace the challenge though of thinking outside the box a little bit more.
And I will just say on that as well, like, irrespective of whether you're moving house, anyone who lives in a Victorian terrace will know that for some reason the Victorians were not into storage. There isn't anywhere to put stuff, so you have like, the worst thing is when you receive something and you're like, oh, I have to find somewhere to put this. And like, I just would rather receive nothing. I know that sounds really ungrateful, but like, I don't like presents for the sake of giving a present.
Yeah, totally agree. And also we love food. I love to eat and drink the vast majority of things in sight. And so if you really want to get me something that needs no storage, let it be something I can eat. Please.
Oh my God, I so agree. It's only in recent years that I'm like, yes, thank you, chutney, love it.
Same. And like lovely toiletries. There was a phase where I was like, I don't need any more toiletries. And now I'm like, oh, a nice toiletry. What a treat. Because that feels like a little luxury. But yeah, it's a funny one. I think we're at this weird age now. Obviously, we're like full grown-ups. Ugh, annoying. But we don't have children. So we're in this kind of middle ground of like, what do we need? What do we buy? What do we ask for, if anything? But I am a big believer in lists, and I've never really been that way. I've always been like, no, I don't want to ask somebody what they want. I really want to, you know, put the work in to think I know them. But ultimately, that unfortunately, I think, is how we end up in these sorts of situations of all these unwanted gifts and presents, because who knows, if you're not like being specific about what it is that you want, people might think that they know you, or they might think that they even know your size or something like that, and then they're kind of getting it slightly wrong. And it's that awkward, very British thing of not being able to go, thank you so much, but do you have the receipt?
Yeah, and I think that is something that is true of any situation, and is a recurring theme on this podcast, is that if you want to do the sustainable thing, it does require, at this particular juncture, organisation and being really specific with your requirements. I mean, there's a reason that we ask kids for lists, and it's not just for Father Christmas.
Yeah, I was out having a coffee with a friend the other day. She was like, oh, I know this is really bad and I'll only ever say this to you, but I actually send like her husband, I nearly said his name then, that will give it away. She's like, I actually just send my husband like they have a separate WhatsApp chat and she just adds to it throughout the year of bits and bobs that she sees. And then, you know, she's no idea if she's going to receive any, what she's going to receive of all those things, but he knows exactly what she's seen, exactly what she might want, exactly what size. She was like, is that really bad? I said, no, that's an idiot's guide. That's a husband's dream, surely.
Yeah.
So no, I'm all for the list, if I'm being totally honest. And my husband will be receiving mine imminently.
The list that I give Deep is always the same list, and it is, I would like 5 books, and I know I should get a Kindle, that would be greener, or I should like get secondhand, but I love reading. It's like a real joy. And I also love supporting authors by buying books. Anyway, I give him the same brief of please buy me 5 books. Now, these books are very likely to be made into Netflix series.
Okay.
And he will go and have extensive conversations at Waterstones to be like, my wife would like a book which is likely to turn into a Netflix series. He always comes back with good ones. So
yeah, I feel whenever I'm at yours, I'm like, give me a book. I think to give a book that you've read and loved is a really nice idea, isn't it? And on that note, shall we get on to our
yes? Oh my god, yes, because we could monopolize this whole thing just waffling, and we've got an agenda. So
we have.
How should we do this?
Well, we have essentially collated a list of 6 to 8 items-ish each that we would like to gift each other. And a little explanation, I would say, as to why we thought that those were good gifts, why they are good gifts in terms of like the environment, why they're a little bit more ethical, what's good about them. So do you want to we're going to send each other a photo or like a description on WhatsApp of what those things are. And then...
but I also... This is a note for Abbie and I. We've got quite a lot to get through, so we're going to have to be quite punchy.
Let's be punchy. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Should I send you the first one?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. I'm really nervous. This is actually happening.
Well, I think it's going to be quite a good test. So I did a post on social media about when we first met, and we first messaged each other in November 2023, so 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So considering we've been friends for 2 years, and we've spent a lot of time together this year, I think this is going to be a really good test as to how well we know each other.
I know, and I'm nervous.
Okay, I've received mine. Okay.
This is a little stocking filler.
Josh's chocolate. Oh my goodness, from the 3 Mile Beach hamper.
Yes. So I have sent Abbie a gift set of Josh's giant chocolate buttons. Josh's chocolate is a Cornish chocolate brand, and these were as part of the hamper at 3 Mile Beach, super sustainable hotel that lodges that we both stayed in at different points this year. We both were like, oh my God, what is it about this local, ethically sourced, sustainable chocolate brand, which is so completely delicious?
Honestly, I think I fought my mum for them, and then I inhaled them at warp speed. It was some of the nicest chocolate I think I've ever had. And I don't know why giant buttons aren't more of a thing. Why are they this big when they could be this big?
Oh, they were just delightful.
So good. Okay, nailed that. Well done. Oh, I love that. I'm like, no, keep going. Keep giving me gifts. No, I'm going to give you one of yours now. Okay. Naturally, Imogen has presented hers in a gorgeous bullet-pointed format. I have not done that. I've just sent her a screenshot off of the website. So this one is for you.
Ooh. You are not going to believe this.
No. What? You don't own it?
Hang on. So, do you want to explain what it is?
Okay. Have you gifted me it as well? No, wait. Okay. So this is a brand called I Was a Sari, where all of the products are made from, in fact, I actually have made notes. All the products are made by Indian women out of old saris in India. It's such an incredible company. I found them in Oxfam. A lot of the Oxfam stores sell them. They sell like little scrunchies or bookmarks or things like that because there's loads of different products. And then I went on the website and saw that they also make incredible bomber jackets, of which I have decided to gift to Imogen. And this company has worked with 800 Indian women, 60% of which it was their first ever job. Works with women from underprivileged backgrounds, like just an incredible organisation.
Honestly, the bomber jackets are so cool. And I have been
nice.
Relentlessly targeted with them on Instagram. And I'm just going to send you something.
Okay.
Because I was in Oxfam the other day and got one of these scrunchies. And I was like, oh, this is like, I've seen this on Instagram before. This is a perfect gift. Now, I didn't quite stretch to the bomber jacket.
But you did include it in the guide.
I did, and especially because what I got you was a bracelet made of material that doesn't quite pass their quality control process. So to avoid waste, they like turn them into bracelets, and it's from the happy accident section. And I just thought it was a really nice kind of, we don't, what is away? Let's not throw things away. Let's repurpose them. But I can't believe we both had iwasasari.com.
That is so funny. See, we know each other so well. And also, I feel like a happy accident is a really good way to describe me.
Oh, but also, like, the scrunchies from Oxfam, and I would encourage anyone who is perusing Oxfam to just seek the little bits by the front of the till. Those are great scrunchies with exactly the right amount of elasticity.
I would totally agree. Oxfam's just a great place to also not even just to buy from there, but obviously do buy from there. But it's like a quality assurance test for the brands to go in there and be like, okay, well, they sell Tony's chocolate and they sell Candy Kittens, so therefore that must be fine. It's trustworthy.
You're so right. I'd not even stopped to think about that. It has to reach their very exacting like brand guidelines.
Yeah. Okay, that is hilarious. Okay, I'm going to go next.
Okay. I'm so excited. Oh, okay. So, I'm sending you a voice note, and I don't mean to.
Oh, I've already got your voice coming out of my laptops. Don't need it coming out of my phone. Okay, so I am sending you a photo of some fingerless cashmere gloves made by a company based in Massam in Yorkshire called Nearly New Cashmere. And they take all old cashmere and whatever they can't mend and get back on a shelf in terms of it being a cardigan or a jumper or whatever, the scrap fabric they make cashmere accessories out of. And these fingerless gloves, I bought some fingerless cashmere gloves a couple of years ago by Jake's mum, by my mother-in-law. They are brilliant because you've got full dexterity in your fingers, you can still use your phone, you can still drink a tea or a coffee, and you are one of the coldest people I know.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, I love these because I am so always cold. And I had a message from the team at Fully Charged Show the other day, and I was like, oh, how did the shoot go? Whatever shoot it was. And they were like, oh, it went well, but it was very cold. We all agreed you would have died.
Not with your cashmere fingerless gloves, you wouldn't.
And especially like cashmere, whenever you go into a shop and you feel the cashmere and you're like, oh, this feels so nice, but so indulgent. Nearly New Cashmere, that becomes more accessible.
It's so much more accessible. It really is as well. So the company was founded in 2017 by a woman called Ali, who just loves cashmere but couldn't believe the amount of stuff that she was finding in like charity shops and stuff that was just, had a little hole in or just was really bobbly or whatever. So she started buying it from there and kind of repurposing it and selling it on, but for such a good price point. And now she gets people to send in their bits and bobs, and if you send a cashmere jumper or cardigan or something and then it gets resold on, you get £10 worth of credit to buy something new from Nearly New Cashmere. And if it doesn't get like resold in its true format, but it gets used for upcycling, you get £2.50 to £5 worth of a voucher. So it's just this constant cycle of being able to get rid of old cashmere and then get something not new, but like as good as. You can get beautiful cashmere cardigans from there for like 40 quid. It's unreal.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And also they were green, I should say. So
I know.
Green creams.
Well, there was many colours on there, but you should follow Nearly New Cashmere on social media because their social media videos are just so adorable.
Oh my gosh. And it goes without saying that we will link to obviously all of these and all of the social media handles as well. So everyone can find these super easily.
Yeah.
Now this is, we've kept this similar theme because I'm about to stick with the warmth theme.
Okay.
This is coming in your direction. It probably needs a little bit of explanation.
A Pluve heated cushion from Stoov.
From Stoov. I just find it so funny that Stoov and Pluve. So you live in a very old property, which is quite drafty.
Yeah.
And when you're sat at a desk, that can be quite unpleasant. I know that you're partial to a hot water bottle.
Yes.
Obviously, a hot water bottle requires heating a kettle. That's quite energy intensive. So this is like a heated cushion, which you just charge it up using a very small amount of electricity, and it will give you 2 to 4 hours of heating.
What? That's amazing. Because I quite often look for things like this, but you have to put them in a microwave. It's like the rice that heats up. I don't have a microwave, so I can never do that. So this is amazing.
Microwave?
Don't have a microwave.
How on earth do you heat things up?
Oven and pan. No, I don't have a microwave.
Well, it's just as well I didn't get you a microwavable one.
And we would have had to have had serious chats. And this is so nice. Also, really like gorgeous. Oh my God, it even matches my day room. The colour of the cushion is exactly the cushions in my day room.
Well, they have loads and loads of different options available, loads of materials available. There's like boucle ones or velvet ones. And there were lots of secondhand options available from eBay if you didn't want to go brand new.
Gorgeous.
But a very low cost way of heating yourself rather than your whole house, especially if it's a little bit drafty.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Love that. I think you've actually bought me them. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming in thick and fast is the next present for you.
Oh! Oh, you made me some gingerbread.
I made you some gingerbread, baby. So, Norway is constantly ranked one of the happiest places to live in the world. And the UK, not so much. It's like down at 20 or something. And one of the biggest Norwegian traditions at Christmas is to bake gingerbread with your family, with your school, with your business, whatever. It's home to the world's largest gingerbread town. They make little gingerbread houses every single year. And I just think it's a really nice Norwegian tradition. It's also super simple to make. And it's just like a universal crowd pleaser this time of year. So I would make you some gingerbread. I would ice it. I just didn't have time.
Do you know, I saw this on your social media over the weekend and I was like, ooh, I actually haven't baked for a long time. We had some bananas that were going off. I was like, I'm going to make the best banana bread that's ever graced this house. And it is just, I mean, I'm about to say the most obvious thing in the whole world, but I haven't like done much cooking this year because I've been away a lot. And actually to spend the time to do it properly, very mindful. Very mindful.
I think we're both probably guilty of going at 120 miles an hour, and the amount of times we've been like, oh shit, it's 9 p.m. and we've not had anything to eat all day. And then you just sort of inhale whatever you can find, hence microwave. But yeah, there is like, when I was doing it, because Jake, my husband, cooks all the time and he really enjoys it at the end of the day to just like get the music on and get some onions chopped, and he's like feeling himself, not literally, just enjoying the moment. And when I was baking the gingerbread, he came through and he was like, enjoying yourself, are we? It's quite nice, isn't it? I was like, yes.
Well, honestly, totally inspired by you. Like, we had this day of cooking yesterday where last week we had one of those weeks where we were eating at 10 p.m. and whatever was in the freezer, and it was just not great. And I was like, we've got to stop this. So I did a slow cooker, not sustainable. And I'm going to say that this is a bit of a treat. Did a slow cooker beef bourguignon.
No, I mean, if you're going to a local butcher and we don't eat beef regularly, then it's not so bad. It's not like we're doing it every single day and we're having hamburgers for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Which Jamie Jewett is doing at the moment. I will link to his social media. He is on like the caveman diet of just eating beef. But anyway, but yeah, we did walk to the local butchers. Once in a blue moon, and I cooked this beef bourguignon in the slow cooker and this banana bread, deep made a roast, and we were just both in the kitchen, actually not chatting that much, but just really being quite content with our thoughts and each other's company. It was a glorious day, and I think giving people food that you have baked is also giving them your effort and your time, and that's
totally.
Really
and it really is like such a cheap way to have a really like maximum impact. I think if you're going to someone's house for dinner, or even like I was thinking of taking some around to the neighbours this year, like we've never really done that. We've always been so like go, no time to really, stop and actually enjoy it. But it's such a thoughtful thing to do, and I think that like element of community. I know we did like a full episode on community, didn't we, and the importance of that earlier in the year. But I think this time of year especially, it feels even more special, doesn't it? Because it is so busy and because there is so much going on, to just slow it all down, bake, put time and effort. And when I looked at the recipe, I started making it and didn't realize that there was an hour where you were supposed to leave the gingerbread dough in the fridge. And I was like, I wanted this to be a really quick activity. And then I was like, that's also fine. It's not like it's an hour where I need to go for a run. Like I can just sit and read a magazine for an hour, which is bloody lush. Just enough time for a glass of wine.
So I did this cookery course with this guy called Rupert Cooper, who's a former professional rugby player. He's amazing. And he was like, Imogen, what do you need to remember with bread? And I was like, well, I don't know. What do you need to remember with bread? He was like, time is your friend. Time is the bread's friend. So, if we can learn one thing from Rupert Cooper, time
Time is the friend of the bread and the gingerbread.
Shall I send you one?
Yeah.
Okay. This you will recognise, I'm sure.
Is it you holding the bread? No.
It is me eating the gingerbread.
Oh, it's plastic-free lipstick.
Plastic-free lipstick. So this is a like lipstick crayon, essentially, from a brand called Perez, which MJ recommended. And she was like, look, there's a more plastic in lipstick than you realise. If it's your red lip, don't worry so much because you maybe aren't wearing that every day. But for your everyday lipsticks, your everyday colours, try and find one that's plastic free, of which this one is.
I think you've nailed my colour there. Or a pink beige. That looks so perfect. Why do we both need to try it immediately?
Well, this was it. I was like, I think this is about right. This is about your everyday sort of shade.
Yeah, it is. I might actually need to buy it because I've still, at the grand old age of 32, not found the perfect everyday lip.
Yes, although
you
recently got a Charlotte Tilbury In Love with Olivia colour.
Yeah.
And they do refills of Charlotte Tilbury.
They do. That's why I bought it, because I thought if I like it, I don't love it.
Okay. Well, I am actually going to Australia in February, so maybe I can pick some up.
You can do a little ethical beauty haul for me.
Well, I should also have caveated, the one drawback from this brand is that it is Australian, so that does mean shipping over, but there's a narrow little pencil, so at least they're not taking up that much room.
That's one of the things that MJ said, wasn't it? Oh, great. Love that. Okay, my next one to you is...
This is a proper gifting, unwrapping.
Yeah.
Give a meaningful gift this winter. Oh my gosh, tell me what this is.
So this is a gift voucher for Unseen Tours. I have never met somebody more in my life that loves a walking tour than you. And this is one that Juliet Kinsman mentioned earlier in the year. And it is their tours done by people who are living on the streets or who have previously lived on the streets. I think they have worked with around 20 guides in the few years that they've been running. They run 450 walks per year, and it just allows you to go on guided walks in different neighbourhoods of London and see them through these people's eyes that often you would walk past in the street and kind of avoid eye contact with. All the money, or a large part of the money, goes to the guides as well.
This is so perfect because I adore a walking tour. I adore the fact that you can like just walk around somewhere and not really notice something. And then you do a walking tour and you're suddenly armed with these different facts and appreciation for where you live. Like the Santander in Oxford, for example, is the source of where there's this huge fight between like the city people and the university. It's how that huge fight is actually what resulted in how even to this day, the land is distributed within the city.
That's
it's
mad.
also what prompted the start of Cambridge, because a load of frightened students were like, oh, fuck this, we're getting out of here. And it's just like one building and you get all these stories. And also I've decided that like if presenting, like dries up a little bit, I will be an Oxford walking guide because it's a great job.
Do you know, that wouldn't even remotely surprise me if you were like, yeah, so alongside my yoga teacher training, I'm doing yoga at 6 and then I'm doing a guided tour at 7.
Honestly, everything that Juliet Kinsman recommended was brilliant, but this was the thing that really stuck out in my mind and I'd temporarily forgotten about it. So I'm so grateful you put it back on my radar.
And we should do one. We should 100% do one together. I think that they only run in London, although I'm not sure about that, but I definitely know that they do run in London. Whether they run elsewhere in the country is TBC. But as well, if you do give the gift of a gift voucher for an Unseen Tour this winter, the Aviva Community Fund will match every purchase, and that doubles the amount of money that the guides get. So that is really special, isn't it?
And that's bringing about real, meaningful change. But also, everybody in that ecosystem there is value for. You as experiencing that tour, it's entertaining. The person giving the tour, Aviva, who can feel great about supporting a wonderful cause and take that ESG box as well.
Yeah, true.
Oh, okay. This is less wholesome, maybe, but I think equally as important. Not equally as important. I'm sorry to diminish that. Important.
Very. Okay. Some fully recyclable bamboo leggings.
Yes. So this is a company called BAM.
Ooh.
So a lot of gym wear that we wear is polyester.
Yeah.
So lots of microplastics there, difficult to recycle. Also various things about how our bodies can absorb that polyester and those microplastics. And BAM, everything that they create is from bamboo, which is super sustainable by its nature. They're a very ethical brand. They were 4 out of 5 on Good on You.
Yeah.
So obviously room for improvement, which given their sustainability reporting, they'll fully know how to resolve that.
I think also anything that is producing something and putting it out there cannot be ever deemed as fully sustainable, can it? Because do any of us really need leggings? No. But ultimately we're in a position, and the society is set up in a way in which we are all going to want new leggings. And, you know, sometimes the old stuff starts to wear down, and we do train a lot and all that kind of stuff. So the 4 on 5 on Good on You is pretty much as good as it gets.
And I think also, you know, we are both huge advocates of vintage, but there are certain things, pants, socks, probably gym wear, where actually buying new is probably the preferred thing, but you can still find sustainable versions of those.
Yeah, that is a good one. And I get at the gym is probably the place where I get stopped and asked the most about, oh, what's a good recommendation for that? Or, oh, I saw you doing something on that. And, oh, I bought that off you. And I'm like, this is great. But also, like, I did get asked about sustainable or ethical gym wear, and I was like, I actually don't know. So bam, I'm going to look them up. They look great. Love the colour.
They do. And I don't know why I hadn't put 2 and 2 together, because I've been following BAM for a while, and I just didn't realise that their sustainability is at their core.
And made of bamboo.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, next gift for you coming up.
I'm enjoying this so much.
Me too.
Oh, it's a bottle of Tinwood sparkling wine.
It's a bottle of Tinwood sparkling wine, the English vineyard that we went to earlier in the year. We spent the night. We did a glorious episode with Jodie, one of the founders, all about how our climate is changing and how we are now able to make sparkling wine as good, if not better, than the region of Champagne used to 20 years ago.
It was, do you know, I'm still on the Tinwood newsletter, and that we had such a fabulous time there. Jodie was so inspiring. Just everything that they're doing is incredible. But also, in much the same way, like, smells remind you of a certain thing. Like, Tinwood will always remind me of that weekend, and you can just feel so smug that, champagne from Chichester, obviously.
100%. And I think, like, that's such a nice thing to, you know, the amount of bottles that are exchanged this time of year. You go to someone's house, it's sort of a done thing that you take a little bottle to say thank you. And there's certain brands that you see a lot, obviously, and how special to receive something so bougie, but to be able to give something and be like, oh, it's from an English sparkling wine vineyard, and I went and stayed, and you can stay, and just to have that additional layer of story, I think, behind something that isn't just, oh shit, we need to go to M&S on the way to this person's house because I haven't got anything. It's just that like added layer. And I also saw I can't remember her name now, Lauren somebody. She's got a beautiful interiors account on social media. Let me see if I can find her so that we can give her a proper shout out. Lauren McDermott. I'm sure that you'll have heard of her, or if you haven't, then you need to follow her immediately because her page is beautiful. She is a content creator. She has a gorgeous home somewhere in the Cotswolds, no doubt. And she did a post the other day about how she gives all of her bottles this time of year wrapped up in a tea towel, a beautiful, like, you know, locally sourced tea towel from a gorgeous little homeware shop that she goes to. And it's like 2 gifts in one, because you're not using any wrapping paper, you're not using a bag, even though the bags are often, you know, reusable, but you're also giving another little gift, so it's like 2 in 1. So I would have wrapped it in a tea towel for you, a frilly little tea towel.
That is such a good idea, and I'm absolutely stealing that. And
you're writing it down, aren't you?
I am. I've circled it, I've underlined it. It's official. Okay, I'm sending another beverage themed gift.
Great.
Your way.
There is a common theme here.
There is. We've structured these very well.
Oh, now we're talking. So
this is some tea. It's actually some loose tea from a brand called Tea People.
Mm-hmm.
And basically this was set up by a company in the Darjeeling area of India. And 50% of their profits go towards supporting health and education for local people, but specifically local women. So tea with a purpose, I would say. Now, when we caught up with MJ, I don't know if this made the podcast, but we certainly spoke about it. Basically, there are microplastics in tea bags. So this is loose tea, but even the tea bags that they use are a completely sustainable design where they're fully recyclable, no plastic. So a good, sustainable tea brand.
A great sustainable tea brand. And I feel like we need to bookmark this for next year, because I don't know of a single person on this planet that loves tea more than I do and drinks tea more than I do. So I think we need to do a Green Queen's tea, spilling the literal tea on sustainability.
Oh my gosh, it's just a title waiting to happen. We
It
need
really
to
is.
reality. Yeah.
It really is. Oh, I love that. Okay, this is my next one coming up.
Okay. This is a forever linked necklace from Regilt.
Yes, it is. So Regilt is a brand of jewellery that uses why do I feel like you're gonna cry? It's all very emotional. It uses like little trinkets that they found in various vintage shops and things. Everything is secondhand that you see on their website, but it has just been made and curated of different charms and different chains and various different kind of concoctions and things. Into, well, essentially new pieces of jewelry, but absolutely nothing about the brand is new. It's all stuff that they've sourced from antique fairs and little vintage markets and things. And yeah, they all have beautiful little individual names. And this one was called the Forever Linked Necklace. And I thought that's very apt because you're stuck with me forever now.
Oh my gosh. And also, I mean, I love it. And every time you post it, I'm like, God, it's such an amazing brand. And I also love it for the fact that because everything is one of a kind, you do have to check in and check if, like, is this for me right now? Not right now, but next month it might be. And it encourages that much more thoughtful way of consuming stuff.
Yeah. And even though it is essentially secondhand, it doesn't feel that way at all. Like, the products are beautifully packaged, the branding is lovely, it still has that really luxurious feel to it. And again, I just love to be able to give a gift with a little backstory. I think I saw on her social media the other day as well that she's actually looking for what she calls treasure hunters, for people to be out and about and looking for various different trinkets and things when they're at vintage fairs and stuff. And I don't know if she'll like give you like gift vouchers or credit or something, if you're part of the little treasure hunt team. But so sweet.
Oh, I love it. And also, I think that's so smart, because quite often if you come across these little trinkets, individually, you're like,
don't know what to do with that. Yeah.
But if they were curated and collated and crafted into these new things, that's amazing.
I know, so sweet. And I thought it was very you're very into your gold jewellery. So I thought that would sit quite nicely with the stuff that you wear day to day.
Well, I can't believe how in sync we've been on the types of
really
orders that we've done them, because I'll send you this one. I was going to send this as the last one, but I'll send it this one. It's coming your way.
Hello. I'll take them. Thank you. Yes.
So these are some Gucci strawberry earrings. And I actually don't know what the price is, because they were hidden in the box. So I was in a vintage shop in Oxford called The Ballroom, which is fantastic. And there's loads of Gucci stuff in there at the moment because, I don't know, someone's donated a lot. And I thought, A, we are both big fans of Gucci. And B, to manifest you working again at Wimbledon next year.
I actually might need to buy these. Oh my God, they're so fabulous.
They're so
Forward
good.
To husband immediately. Oh my God, well found. Sorry, I need to come to Oxford and go vintage shopping.
I know.
People
this one
get rid of great stuff.
Yeah, and that's it. There's a pair of this shop is incredible. It's like so well curated, and I was like, "What are your secrets?" And they were like, "We cannot share our secrets." Oh.
Secrets is like some rich woman that like is selling off all of her good old stuff. Wow. I very much, I'm so impressed with that find. Well done.
But what is upsetting is that I really did convince myself that I had bought them for you, and I haven't. It's a screenshot. But...
This is really sad, because I think if we were able to, maybe we can put this out there. If we manifest the podcast being so successful in 2026 that we can do this legit next year and go to town and just hope that those strawberry Gucci earrings are still in that shop.
But it also does really prove that thinking about someone else and thinking what they may enjoy actually brings maybe as much joy as doing it in real life.
Literally. Yeah, that is true. Like if you are actually so skint that you can't afford to buy anything, just do this because I'm having a whale of a time.
Oh, it's great. I feel very cared for. They've all been very thoughtful.
What's hilarious is that the ones that have a higher price point that I'm sending you, I'm like, God, I'm so generous.
Yeah. Because also, I will say, in this, we've gone from as low as £5 up to, we're unsure about the cost of these earrings. I tried to do a bit of an assessment based on what you can get them on Vestiaire and eBay, etc. And I think they're about £95.
That's so good.
It's not bad. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say £200. That's so, oh no, I actually think I might need them. Damn it.
Well, I can go and check. I will check if they're still there.
Okay. I do have an Oxford trip planned. We can maybe do an investigative journalism trip.
I think it would be
podcast.
It's vital journalism that needs
and
to
actually expenses because this is research
and uniform for Wimbledon next year.
Yes. Taxman, if you're listening, pay attention. Okay, final gift for you coming your way.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
I thought about this for you as well, actually.
Well, as somebody that is possibly the busiest person that I know, a 70-minute massage, full body massage at no other than a Lush store.
Oh, which means everything they're going to be using is totally sustainable, fits all of their criteria as a brand.
Waste-free, ethical, probably made by lovely Steve, who we met when we went to the factory.
Oh my gosh, this is such a good idea. And this is something I would actually, Deep, if you are listening, this is what I would like.
Well, I think the great thing about the Lush treatments is most of the stores have a little treatment room, and it really I've had a treatment at the Leeds store, and it really does feel like you are going for a full spa day. I was like, how am I in the middle of Leeds City Centre right now when I feel like I'm in the spa in the like Himalayan mountains? And because the fact that you're not getting a full spa day, which can cost an arm and a leg, I think that the treatment's pretty reasonably priced.
Now, this last one isn't really for you.
Rude.
I know, and it's also not quite as thoughtful as the one that you've just bought me. But this is with, I'm assuming that Jake would be in the vicinity, your husband.
For God's sake.
Yeah, he's a very kind person. What can I say? But I think this will make you laugh.
Okay. He'll be thrilled.
So this is a brand called Toast Brewing, and they make beer. And Jake likes beer.
He loves beer.
And in fact, one of the things that's been a bit of a sticking point about whether or not you move, and if you move further down south, is the
quality of beer
to his beer. Yeah,
literally. What is my life?
So I can't vouch for the quality or the taste of this beer. I thought it was really, really interesting because it is made from excess waste bread. They use, basically, they're able to use some of the malted, they can replace the malted barley with bread using some of the enzymes in it. If you follow the link, you can get a more scientific answer. But anyway, it's phenomenal because they're using bread because about 44% of bread in the UK gets wasted.
Yeah.
Which is shocking.
That is mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think about the amount of like resources that have gone into making the bread, it can't then just be that it's thrown out. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Beer made from bread.
Beer made from bread. You can feel less bad about the bread waste and great about drinking a beer.
Sorry, this stat also, since 2016, we've saved enough bread slices to stack 5.6 times the height of Mount Everest. What an amazing brand. Also really cool branding, Toast Brewing. Okay, yeah. I'm stealing this. Jake, you didn't hear that.
So I want to know if they were stacking the slices of bread like vertically or horizontally.
Maybe we can get them on the podcast. Maybe we can do a Green King episode and go to the brewery. Where is it made?
London, which I thought, not Yorkshire, but regardless, like
I think we should do a little trip and be like, hello, we have many questions. The first of which, bread slices. How are we stacking them?
Even if it's even if it is vertically, that is a lot of bread.
It's a lot of bread. Yeah. Really is. Oh, I love that. Thank you very much for thinking of the household.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
I'm so sorry none of these gifts were actually real, but they have been so delightful to think about you and, as a thanks to just hanging out and being a great friend.
I know. It's been like, I made that little post the other day and then you text me and you were like, oh, well, it's made me a bit emotional. Like, meeting friends in your 30s is probably quite unusual. And I speak to people about this all the time because people are constantly asking me, did you two go to school together? Like, how do you know each other? And it is just testament to the fact that I think you kind of like fast forward all the stuff that you would do if you meet somebody at school, and you kind of really get to know somebody at a deeper level quicker.
Yeah.
We're like speed dating.
Well, so there was a podcast that I listened to last week from Grace Beverley on her Working Hard, Hardly Working podcast.
Yeah.
And she kind of said exactly that. Like, in your 30s, unlike friends from school, which you just have the virtue of time to kind of build that connection, you've actually got to go full force and say, I commit to this friendship. I'm building my community, I'm building my village, in whatever format that takes. And you've got to be really intentional about that. And I was like, holy shit, that is 100% how I feel with our friendship and the podcast, and, you know, as well as obviously a bunch of other very special people in my life. But it's a different beast in your 30s. Definitely.
It definitely is. And I think if nothing else, we have just proved, A, how similar we are, how similar we think, and B, I think how well we know each other.
Yeah. And like, we did not confer
not
before this podcast
at all. We don't have the bloody time to talk unless we are podcasting. So this is genius.
Well, on that note, we should probably wrap this up, not least because you have a car to sort, I have a one-to-one to do, and we need to save some of our festive joy for the next episode of this festive series.
We do. I'm going to go put my strawberry Gucci earrings on and drink a toast beer.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Green Queens.
If you did and you'd like to hear more, we'd be so very grateful if you could like,
subscribe, and join the Green group chat for weekly episodes.